What is up, guys? Welcome back, and today is the final installment of the trilogy of my final push to rank 10. So this is the last two sets, but I'm going to, it looks like we're going to hit the likes that I said for last video, so I'll probably be uploading the video that I went to 3,194 elo, and so thank you guys again for all the support. You guys are amazing. And before we start, pronunciations for today are Elgium and Beheeyem. Those two psychic type Pokemon, and someone else asked about Sableye. It is pronounced Sableye. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the battles. Alright, so right now we are sitting at 2913 elo, so at this point I'm thinking if I can go 5-0, I can get, that's enough points, 87 points should be enough to get a 5-0, or 5-0 should be enough for that, to get me to 3,000, sorry. Fumbling my words right now. But anyways, this matchup here is not great because the Shadow Claws are going to be triple resisted by Obstagoon, and our Foul Play will be single resisted. And so I have no choice but to go for return, which I think I did, and they shielded. So I'm going to go for it again, and hopefully we can get a second shield out of them, or hit them. But we do get a second shield. So it looks like this player is trying to get the boost with Night Slash. Which is definitely super deadly if they get it, but thankfully they don't, so we just come in with Tropius and we're going to be throwing Leaf Blades. And at least the good thing about Tropius is we resist the counter moves, but the Night Slash will do neutral damage. So gonna shield in the Gunk Shot, definitely super effective. I was anticipating that, so I shielded, so that was a really good shield. That probably would have lost me the match if I got hit with that, because that would have KO'd. So anyways, and then he could have kept throwing counters against, a few more counters against Stunfisk. But anyways, thankfully we dodged that bullet, and we go for the Earthquake, but I think they switched out. Let's see. Yeah, they switched out. That was a really good switch on their part, because that would have definitely KO'd. But either way, landing an Earthquake on anything, for the most part, is pretty good, unless it's a flyer. So that was totally fine with me to land it on the Shadow Hypno, and you can see the Shadow Hypno is almost dead. So we're going to knock it out, we're going to farm it up, and we have enough energy for a Rock Slide. I'm just going to throw it, because I think the Fire Fang would melt us down, and not going to risk anything. So that's a fine chunk of damage for me. So we're just going to throw Leaf Blade and see what we can do. And even though it's not effective, it's a Shadow Pokemon, so it's a little bit more squishy, and we're able to knock it out with 2 Leaf Blades. And we go 1-0 in the 4th set. So off to a great start. Again, I'm so nervous. And we go against Mashed Spirit, which I did see him hit rank 10 after this, so congratulations. And I also got matched up with him again in rank 10. So anyways, I think this was... Oh, I missed the first Pokemon. Sorry, I don't know if it was a Steel type. This might be a Grass Hole team. I'm not sure. Let's see. So Shadow Victory Bell came out with Razor Leaf. And so I need to try to get shields out of this one. Because I most likely won't win this matchup. I just need to get shields. And we do get the second shield, and we are going to lose, but we're going to be able to farm up with Tropius. The only thing I have to really be worried about is Sludge Bomb, but most people don't run it because it takes too long to charge. So it's either going to be a Leaf Blade or Acid Spray. And I decided not to be greedy with my shields, because from experience with these teams, I don't really need to hold on to my shields. And so I just shield that one, because I don't really need them. So yeah, throw the Leaf Blade, and then I'm going to switch out. But I couldn't do it in time, so I'm going to have to shield this one. I don't want to get hit with a Rock Slide, but I'm going to switch out to draw out their other grass type. So let's see if they switch out. And they don't appear to be switching out. So, yeah, I don't know if they were trying to count my moves and they were going to try to tank the rocks or the Earthquake, and maybe they just miscounted. But, oh, it's not a Grass Hole team. Okay, so they have a Shadow Hypno, and they're probably running Fire Punch because it's a Shadow Hypno. Most people run Fire Punch with the Shadow Hypno, and yeah, they're not throwing charge moves. Interesting. I wonder if they were trying to, I don't know what they were doing here. That was, maybe they figured that they lost, so he was conceding the match like without quitting. So maybe that's what happened. So good games there, and we go into Gaian EP, a former rank 10, as you can see by the pose, and we run into another Steel type. So I switch out. Gonna see what they switch into. Hopefully it's a Grass type, because I know how to deal with those. But they're not switching out, so I'm gonna throw a Foul Play and do some chunk damage, and they're staying in, which tells me they probably don't have the double Razor Leaf line. I'm pretty sure they don't have that, otherwise they probably would have switched out by now and saved their Stunfisk for my Tropius. So now I'm just kind of wondering what does this person have, because they're not switching out. So maybe something weak to Sableye and they're trying to knock me out. So seeing that, I shield, and they do have a Razor Leaf. Okay, so very interesting that they didn't switch in earlier. So I switch into my Tropius because they switched out kind of late, so that I can lock in with my Tropius versus theirs, and mine is way more powerful because we double resist grass, and they're weak. We're weak to flying, so my air slashes will be doing super effective damage. So that was awesome. I'm just gonna throw Leaf Blades, and this Galarian Stunfisk is so low that it won't be able to tank 2 of these. One of them will almost knock it out, so they shield. And I'm going to be able to tank a Rock Slide. I have enough health where this will not KO me, and I can just knock it out with Razor Leaf. Okay, they don't have the double grass. Okay, so they have Deoxys. Interesting choice, but that's a very, very good pick. Deoxys is solid, but thankfully my Sableye does super effective damage, which explains why they weren't switching out right away. They probably didn't want to, they didn't want to lose their Deoxys too fast. But we beat him to the charge move, and so it's going to be pretty much a wrap at this point. I can come in with either of my Pokemon. I have full health, so yeah, this is good games. Alright, so we go 3-0 in the fourth set, and we're doing good, okay? We're going against Lag City. I love that name. Shout out to Lag City. And we run into a Pokemon that's both good and bad. Mostly bad because we're double weak to Ice. But the Leaf Blades do super effective damage, but I switch out anyways because I don't want to mess around with that just yet. I want to come in with an energy advantage. That way I can handle the Dugong better. So they're going to throw an Icy Wind and probably switch out, I'm guessing. Yeah, so they're going to switch out into their own Sableye, and this is not good because now our attack is weaker. This Foul Play won't do as much damage, but they're going to shield anyways just because it will, it will hit pretty hard. But they farm us down. Very, very good. I'm kind of worried at this point. So I come in with Tropius, and I think I'm expecting a return, so I shield. Yeah, so that was a good call. Whew, dodged a bullet there. That would have done a ton of damage because we are neutral to... we're neutral to both of its moves, actually. So, yeah, it was a good shield. Now they come back in, but because I have a little bit of an energy lead, I thought I could beat it, but I can't, so I have to shield. Otherwise, this will most likely KO me. And so I'm going to go in with Leaf Blade and then probably try to switch out, because I want to clear the debuff and I want to get a shield. So I clear that, and then they come in with Azu, and this is not good. I have to land Earthquake, which I obviously will, but I'm worried that it's going to have Hydro Pump, and if it does, I'm kind of screwed. But let's hope they're running Ice Beam, Play Rough, because neither of those would KO from here. So let's see what they have. Please don't be Hydro Pump. Alright, so it's Ice Beam. So maybe they don't have Hydro Pump, so this is good. We can throw another Earthquake and pretty much get close to knocking it out, and we can probably, we're gonna force them to throw energy there because you can see how low their health got, which is good because now I can farm with my Tropius and avoid getting hit with Ice Beam. That would have been so bad. We have enough energy lead to knock out the Dugong with the Leaf Blade, so that was very, very close. Had that, Dugong gotten one more Ice Shard maybe, they could have gotten Icy Wind and knocked us out. It was a very, very close match. So we're 4-0. We go against your boy, Daco. And shout out to him, running Pelipper in the lead. Now we're weak to flying, and so I switch out. And Pelipper is actually kind of a tough Pokemon to beat because the wing attacks generate, they generate energy pretty fast. Not like Mudshot fast, but pretty fast. And Weather Ball does neutral damage to everything on our team, except for Stunfisk. It's actually super effective. So this is actually a pretty big threat to me, which is why I'm playing a lot of defense here, trying to knock this thing out. I need to get rid of it because it can just do a ton of damage to my team. I don't want it to do that. And so now comes Medicham, which is another threat to our team because if it has Ice Punch, it's going to suck for Tropius, and if it has counters, which is bad for Stunfisk. So either way, I'm not in a good shape here. So I have to also try to get rid of this thing because, but luckily it doesn't. I decide not to shield. I decide to save my shield, and it has Psychic, which a lot of people have been running recently, which is why I wasn't too scared of the Ice Punch. But then they come in with Skarmory, and this is perfect for me. I can just throw Rock Slides and try to manage my energy, meaning I don't want to knock it out and leave myself with no energy, so I have to be very careful with how I knock this Skarmory out. I need to knock it out while still having a lot of energy. So at this point, my next Rock Slide will KO. So what I need to do, hopefully I do this, I need to over farm before I throw the Rock Slide. So I'm going to go ahead and just save the shield. Farm up a little bit, but then they switch. So now I can just go for Earthquake and pressure the shields here. And if I can knock this out, this would be good. And so I can hopefully get enough, enough energy for the Rock Slide. So that worked out really well. We're going to definitely get a shield from here, but then I have a shield left with my Tropius, and they're so low that I probably could even knock them out with the Leaf Blade, to be honest. But let's see if I do that. I think, yeah, I go for the Leaf Blade because I'm too scared that they have too much energy. I don't want them to get to another Sky Attack, and the Leaf Blade knocks them out, and we go 5-0. And so now, the moment of truth. I'm going to check my ELO rating and see if I got there. So first I got to catch this Pokemon. I think it's a Trico. Yeah, so I'm just going to skip to the end. Alright, so we catch the Trico. And I'm like, alright, my heart's beating. I'm just ready to collect these rewards. I'm ready to get to rank 10. Let's go. 3,000. Yeah. So we get to 29.98. So I have to play another set, and not only do I have to play another set, I have to go 3-2 in that set, most likely, to even get those extra points. I've heard in the past some people losing points for a 3-2 at this stage, and so I really am like thinking I don't need to go 4-1 here. So we're back at it. Last set against an Obstagoon. I shield the Gunk Shot, which was huge. Yeah, we would have lost the match there. So usually when an Obstagoon stays in, I tend to think they're going for a Gunk Shot, which is not a bad strategy because you're guaranteed to get a shield if you throw that. So yeah, but they switch into Cresselia, and we have the perfect counter for that. I mean, not really, because Moonblast would almost knock us out, I think. So we are weak to Fairy, so I shield. I'm expecting it, and I'm going to try to go for the farm down here because Confusions don't charge that quickly, and we farm it down. So very, very good turn of events here. I'm just going to go for the return. We're either going to knock out the Obstagoon or get a shield, and we knock him out. So now they have Sableye versus my full team, basically, and this is going to be... We're in a really, really good spot here. So yeah, so we get their last shield. I come in with Tropius with already charged up energy. I like to call that a battery swap because we have energy, like a battery. But anyways, the Sableye is going to throw a Foul Play. I don't think this will KO us, though. No, not even close. So we can get to a Leaf Blade. Oh, we can't, but that's okay. We have other Pokemon that can finish this thing off. So I believe I come in with my Sableye, and this should knock it out. So we're 1-0. We need 2 more wins. 2 more wins to get there. And I'm so nervous right now. We're actually on a 6-0 run, believe it or not. I forget what we did 2 sets ago. I can't remember now. But we might be on like a 7-0 run. I don't know. We're doing really well with this team. And we run into a bad lead, so we switch. And now we're running. And now the counter switch is also not good because they're going to be resisting our Shadow Claws, I believe. And yeah, I'm trying to go for the shield bait here. Hopefully I can get a shield. And usually with Shiftry, because it's not that strong, you're more than likely to get a shield from them, so it's easier to bait a Shiftry than it is like a Hypno, for example. I mean, with Sableye, of course, you would get a shield, but my point is, Hypno has a high defense stat, Shiftry does not. So it's easier to get shields out of the Shiftry. And so that's what we do. We get both shields, and now we're in an okay spot, because I can let this Sableye go down, and I can farm with Tropius, although I will have to take 1 or 2 foul plays, which will hurt, because Shiftry has a really high attack stat. And we're able to farm it down before we get hit with the second one, so that was clutch. So now we have energy. Even if they come in with Marowak, I'm going to switch out, and I'm expecting them to switch out, but they're not, so they're going to have to take a super effective Rock Slide. Yeah, maybe their other Pokemon in the back is weak to Stunfisk, I'm not sure. But they're going to throw Bone Club, which is super effective, or Shadow Ball, which actually does more damage, but it's less energy efficient. And then they have a Ferrothorn, which is good for us. We can throw an Earthquake. I believe this does super effective damage, or maybe it's just neutral because the grass resists it, but the steel is weak to it. So good neutral damage, and it's already almost at 25% health or 20% health. And then I'm going to come in with an Aerial Ace. We have a lot of energy, so this is good. It's going to not knock it out, but it actually is good because we resist. Oh my gosh, they threw Power Whip. That was amazing because we double resist? I forget. But anyways, yeah, so we double resist the grass. And the Thunder would have been neutral. I don't know if they just didn't have enough energy for a Thunder. And then this Marowak had no choice but to throw a charge move, and we triple resist the ground. So yeah. Whew. Alright, so we won the games. I forget what our streak is at this point, 7 or 8-0, and we need one more win to get to 3,000. So we run into a Hypno. This is fine. It's a purified Hypno, so I'm not expecting a Fire Punch, although Shadow Ball would also hurt pretty bad. Although Ice Punch would hurt even more, I think. But not many people run Ice Punch. But just to be safe, I want to Shield because I want to know what it has. It has Thunder Punch. Okay, I can definitely tank those. So hopefully... That was probably a shield bait anyways, so I decided to switch out. And then they throw in a Azumarill, so this is not great for us, but we did get a shield already, which is good because I can put more pressure with this return. If they shield, then they have no shields, but they don't. And this point, if it's Play Rough, it'll knock me out. I decided to shield. Its Hydro Pump also probably would have knocked me out. So now I'm just going to go for the Foul Play. I don't think I need to go for a return, so I'm going to try to save some energy. And I get a shield, so that's perfect. Now I can either get to another Foul Play. Ooh, I almost got to it. We CMP tied there. That was not good. But at least I don't have to worry about another Ice Beam. I can just farm it down with Tropius, and then Hypno is going to hit us with probably a Shadow Ball or something. Yeah, Shadow Ball. But we can tank it okay, and we're just going to knock him out with a Leaf Blade. So I decided to try to undercharge so I could farm a little bit, and they switched out. So they kind of anticipated what I was doing. So very, very good play on their part. Quick reactions, but I'm able to get to an Earthquake, which does like almost half of its health in one hit. And they're going to hit us with... Nothing that really can throw at us will do any damage, so that's actually good. The only thing that is bad for us is the counters, but their Rock Slides don't do any damage. So this is actually a pretty decent matchup to be in. And so we're probably going to win this game. So we're going to knock it out with Earthquake. And then Hypno is going to go to sleep. And we win the third game. So at this point, the weight that was off my shoulders at this point, I was just so happy. I couldn't believe it. I needed to win 3 more, and we won the first 3. Like the least stressful route to do it. But I still don't know, because it's still possible to lose points with a 3-2. So I'm still trying to win one of these last 2 games. We run into an Ampharos, and this is going to hurt if it's like a Wild Charge, but it's just a Thunder Punch. And so it's not too bad. I'm going to throw Leaf Blade and probably get a shield out of them, just because... Oh, they don't shield. Okay, so Leaf Blade does a decent chunk of damage. I was expecting a shield there. In here, I know I can take a Thunder Punch. I just don't know if it's a Wild Charge or not. Okay, so it's... Do they even have Wild Charge? I don't think they do. Now that I think of it. Maybe that's why. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. But anyways, Thunder Punches charge really fast. And I didn't get to the Leaf Blade in time. So now, they're probably going to throw another Thunder Punch. Yeah, we can tank that fine. I'm going to farm down. Yeah, Focus Blast would have been a waste of energy. Although sometimes they run Dragon Pulse, which is an interesting move, but I think it's a legacy move, so not easy to get. Okay, we go for the return. They don't shield, which is fine. Totally fine. We don't want this Azumarill to be alive, so I'm gonna shield this because I need to get rid of it. It could do a lot of damage to my Stunfisk. So just gonna try to get a shield out of this, or just do some more damage. And we do more damage, and they switch out into Meganium. Oh, but this is not the Pokemon I want to see, because if they land an Earthquake, it's gonna be game over for us. And players at this range don't always bait right away. They go straight for the Earthquake, which is what I was expecting. So I shield, and it was a shield bait. So, so the shield bait that pretty much sealed the deal for us. And this player is going to definitely punish us for doing that. and they're going to go Earthquake here, and that'll knock us out. And then I think my Sableye was already pretty much fainted anyways. Yeah, no, yeah, it was. So we lose game 4. We have one more game to go, and we go against U2121, and they lead Azumarill, so this is good. We can beat them to the charge move, so I'm going to throw Leaf Blade, and hopefully they don't switch out. Alright, perfect. So they're going to have to shield or take a big chunk of damage. They decide to not shield, and so now I'm expecting Ice Beam, so I'm just going to shield. I don't care what it is, whether it's a Play Rough or Ice Beam. So I shield. And I could definitely beat them to the charge move again, so I'm just going to throw Leaf Blade. They shield this time. Okay, so now we're doing good. Just going to shield up this Ice Beam. I don't want to get hit with it because it does a ton of damage. So obviously it doesn't KO, I don't think, from where we were, but it almost would. So I want to make sure I knock this thing out. And awesome. Okay, they have Marowak. I'm going to switch out into Sableye, which will force them to switch out. It's a Ferrothorn. We can totally handle this Ferrothorn, no problem. So at this point, I'm thinking we're probably going to win this match. So they're going to throw probably a Power Whip. That would do a ton of damage. And so we're going to get to the Foul Play, though. So this is going to also do a ton of damage. Sableye is such a good safe switch, so that's why I had no fear. I wasn't worried about a Fairy type or anything like that. So you can see this Ferrothorn is already in the red. So I'm just going to come in and try to knock it out with an Aerial Ace. Yeah, Grass, I believe, is double resisted, so wouldn't be smart to throw Leaf Blade. So we knock out the Ferrothorn, and now I can come in with our Stunfisk, and nothing that they throw will KO us, but we can throw an Earthquake and take this game. So we're going to go for the Earthquake, and we go 4-1 in the last set. So now we for sure guaranteed that we made it. So that was my heart was beating so fast that night. This was like 2 nights ago. And we go 4-1, and here we go, claiming the rewards, getting some rare candy, which I always need because I'm always spending that on random Pokemon that I probably shouldn't be. But we get to rank 10, and we get to a 30-45 ELO rating, and yeah, so after this, I was we still had some sets to do, so I did the next set, and I won't spoil it, but we did really well, and so this will be the next video. So if you guys want to see that, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys so much for watching. Can't wait to get to the next video. So we'll see you then.